Hello. How you doing? Woo. I'm sorry. Good evening, everyone. My name is Caleb Milliken, but tonight you can call me the Love Guru because I'm going to teach you how to make love. No, just kidding. I'm actually going to share with you my adventure on how I found my soulmate and how you can too. I simplified it into 10 steps. Now, a show of hands, how many people here have had a broken heart before? Good. So those of you with your hands up, you're ahead of the game. All right, if your hand is down, that means you need to get out more. Now, the starting point for me was when I realized that my partner at the time was a complete sociopath. She reflected all the worst behaviors from my parents. So step one is to find the most sociopathic person that reminds you of the worst of your parents. Okay? Now you'll know you found that person when everyone is telling you about the impending doom ahead and you just ignore it all. And why do you do that? Well, you do that because they know how to push your buttons just right. Make you oblivious to the warning signs. Make you oblivious to the signs that are surely there that you should run. All right? So the next step is to love this person with all of your heart. Right? Completely ignore that they bring out the rest of you, right? They bring out the worst of you. Convince yourself that you'll die without them. So when they finally do dump you, you're so torn up inside that you can't eat, you can't sleep, and you're certainly never going to love again. All right? Now at this point, your self-esteem should be so low that you're hopeless and that you're depressed, which leads to step 3, to do something stupid. Right? Crash your car, lose your job, stay in bed for a few weeks, and then go find the most reckless person you can and make him your best friend. You know, the one who drinks too much, eats too much deep-fried food. All right? Now you want to drink lots of alcohol during this phase. Sleep with as many people as you can. And don't be picky. All right? You'll know you're past this phase when you can no longer stay where you are because you've messed things up so bad. Now, you want to hit rock bottom as soon as possible because it gets ugly. All right? But it also leads to the 4th step, which is to remove yourself from the situation. Go as far away as possible. Now, I went backpacking through Asia, but keep in mind, you're still trying to fill the hole inside, so you're going to repeat this destructive pattern. And I was able to find a long line of people who would play into my sadomasochistic codependence, right? So you basically want to follow this pattern, this destructive pattern, until you reach step number 5, which is to give up hope. Now, this is where you realize there is no light at the end of the tunnel. Now, it hit me on Christmas Day about 10 years ago. I was alone. I was destroyed. I was empty, right? I couldn't imagine why love hurt so much unless it wasn't really love that I was experiencing. Then a thought rose up from deep inside of me. What is love? It was a question. I knew it wasn't that painful stuff that I'd been living through, but what could it be? I still didn't know. So I committed myself. I went on a quest. Now I'm going to find out what love is, and I'm going to go get me some. Now, it's easy to do, but the next thing you need to do is go within. That's step 6, I think. And it's easy to do when there's nothing left of your ego. I assumed everything I knew about the world was wrong, and that the truth lay somewhere deep beneath my worst fears and insecurities. So I went on shaman retreats, I went on meditation courses, I went trekking, I learned photography, I learned massage, I started seeing a therapist, and going to a men's circle. I got to the point that I finally, for the first time in my life, experienced freedom. The freedom to choose my beliefs. And with that newfound freedom, I realized it was really up to me to decide what love was, right? And that actually leads up to the next step. And the next step is to learn how to love. So what is love? So for me, love is a commitment. It's a commitment to myself, to grow, to share, to heal, to forgive, and to be happy. Now, when my definition of love changed, everything around me changed. And that leads us to the next step. Observe what's going on around you. Now, when I looked around, I noticed this woman sitting by a fire. And what drew me to her wasn't what drew me to a beautiful woman in the past. Of course, she was beautiful. But I was no longer pulled by the same mechanism, right? I noticed that I had this deep desire to know her, to understand her, and to love her. Now, I already knew her, because as far as I'm concerned, she was my soulmate. Now, that's actually not even enough unless you do step 9, which is be vulnerable, right? Share with her your wounds. Don't be afraid to tell her how scared you are that you're going to get hurt again. And give her permission to run away if that's not what she's looking for. Now, up to this point, all of these steps have been optional. But the last one is crucial. It's to commit, right? Not to this person that you may or may not have found. That's just a reflection of the journey that you've been on. This is you. Commit to yourself. Commit to heal. Commit to share. Commit to your definition of love. And know that when you do that, you will live happily ever after. Well, at least until you meet your in-laws. but I'm out of time, so we'll have to cover that next time. Thank you so much.